The story kicks off inside a men's prison, where the inmates are out in the yard working out. But the peace doesn't last long. An alarm suddenly blares, signaling all prisoners to return to their cells. One of the inmates corners Sam, a prison guard, and pressures him into smuggling in contraband. He threatens to rat Sam out if he refuses, warning that Sam could end up behind bars himself and under his control. Scared for his future, Sam tries to stand up to the inmate, but it backfires. He ends up seriously injured, with a gash on his face. Later, he visits the medical wing to get checked out for a possible head injury and receives stitches. When Tim and the other guards ask what went down, Sam doesn't tell the truth. He claims the inmate had been acting out for a while. Sam says he only told him to return to his cell, but the guy resisted. According to Sam, when he pushed the inmate, the guy headbutted him, so Sam had no choice but to defend himself using his nightstick. To keep him out of harm's way, the prison staff decide to reassign Sam to tower duty. A few days later, while stationed on the prison roof, Sam notices something odd going on in the yard. He grabs a telescope to get a better view. Out of nowhere, chaos erupts as a fight breaks out between the inmates. Without wasting a second, Sam hits the emergency alarm. Guards rush in fast, armed with tear gas, and take positions up on the roof. As the brawl intensifies, they release tear gas into the yard, hitting several prisoners. But when that still doesn't calm things down, the guards are forced to fire warning shots. That finally gets the inmates to drop to the ground. But in the confusion, two inmates accidentally start beating up another one. The guards, fully suited up, storm the yard and begin restraining inmates one at a time. Back on the roof, Sam is watching all of it unfold, and it hits him just how badly he messed up. Later, Warden Mills meets with guards Ed Simmons and Tim to go over what happened. Tim stands by Sam, but Warden Mills is clearly furious. He wants answers, specifically why Sam was assigned to the tower in the first place, and he's ready to decide where to send him next. Tim explains that, since Sam had been attacked and injured before, they figured it'd be safer to keep him away from the general inmate population. Ed jumps in and suggests transferring Sam to other departments like intake, discharge, or perimeter patrol. Tim keeps standing up for Sam, questioning why he even needs to be relocated in the first place. But despite both Tim and Ed pushing back, Warden Mills shuts them down and makes the call. Sam is being transferred to the women's prison. He immediately orders a lockdown so they can process the move. We then follow Sam as he arrives at the women's facility. He steps aside politely as the female inmates walk past him, but some of them don't hold back. They flirt, make bold moves, and a few even throw out suggestive gestures. As Mayor McLusky walks into the classroom, she instantly notices the way Sam and Cherry are acting, way too friendly. She demands to know who approved Sam's transfer to a women's prison. Sam explains it was done to keep him safe after what happened back at the men's facility. Miriam doesn't sugarcoat it. She warns him that the women in here are just as dangerous as the men, and they'll try to manipulate him if he's not careful. Later, while she's teaching a lesson on human evolution, Cherry sneakily uses a mirror to spy on Sam, who's standing quietly at the back of the room. Inside the break room, the guards chat about how different the women's prison is compared to the men's max security facility. Sam cracks a joke, saying today felt like a mini vacation compared to the men's side, which he describes as a total jungle. But the other guards warn him not to relax just yet. They tell him to wait until lights out before forming any opinions. They explain that the women will start spinning fake stories to win his sympathy, and some will even complain about male guards watching them change. The guards stress that the women's prison has its own kind of risks, and they tell Sam to play it safe, follow every rule like a robot, no exceptions. That night, as the team goes cell to cell locking up, they catch one inmate hiding a phone. Then it's Sam's turn to lock the next door, and he finds Cherry inside, pretending to read a magazine. He checks in on her to see if she's okay. Nina responds calmly and asks for her door to be shut, so Sam moves along and gets back to his routine. The next day, Sam is posted by the classroom entrance as the inmates file in. One of them purposely bumps Cherry into him. She clings to his jacket and teases, she will see him tonight. One of the female guards pulls Sam aside and warns him to get his head straight. Later that night, while Sam is doing rounds and telling the inmates to turn off their bunk lights, he stops by Cherry's cell and finds her undressed. Caught off guard, Sam stares, clearly overwhelmed by his emotions. What he doesn't realize is that the entire moment is being captured on camera. The next day, Sam is working in the control room when Cherry starts acting off. As he approaches, she fakes a sharp pain in her side, saying she needs to go to the infirmary. Sam asks if she can walk or if they need to call for a stretcher. On the way there, though, Cherry suddenly yanks him under a stairwell, one of the few blind spots in the prison without any cameras. It's the kind of place inmates seem to use for secret meetups. Sam hesitates for a second, but then gives in. Right after that, everything takes a dark turn. Cherry flips. She pulls out a weapon and stabs Sam in the neck several times. Then, she starts screaming for help. It's clear she's trying to make it look like Sam attacked her and that she fought back in self-defense. She drags herself out from under the stairs, crying out for help, trying to convince everyone she barely survived a guard's assault and that what she did was justified.